Kojo and Sam Sharp and Buster Manty. Oliver Allard was a wicked style, but here comes the Zippy-Gan with the new comedy. Open up your eyes and not in your fizzy. Jamaican, where you come from? Why you so big, bold, brave and strong? Jamaican, where you come from? Why you so big, bold, brave and strong?
He's a comedy act, and he was at the Apollo Theater and at Madison Square Garden, the smaller court. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Zippy Gan.
So Carib, New York, what's up?
I take the egg white and I let it run down the cracker and batty and I leave it there. And would you believe me? The morning when the old master wake up and feel him batty and feel the slimy thing in my body, him jump up out of the bed and him say, Bertha, Bertha, come here, what is this, what is this? I said, Harry, I don't know what it is. I think you're gonna have to ask the friend that bring you home last night.
And my name Zippy Gan, and those who never know, now you know, because we are going to tell somebody. Introduce yourself, my dear
This
lady.
is Carly Murray Gordon, and I have the distinct pleasure of meeting Mr. Zippy tonight. Okay, he doesn't go by Mr. Zippy, but it is a pleasure to meet you.
Clear. Put Mr. aside, just Zippy.
Okay,
God, right?
King. No, just Zippy.
Mr. Right. Who is Zippy, you may ask?
Who is Zippy?
Gan? Yeah. Jamaican stand-up comic and also master of ceremonies.
What inspired you to get into comic? Since you say you're not a comedian, but you're a comic. What inspired you?
Well, it's inborn, from my childhood. I guess, when I was born, I was so ugly, I appear laughing me. Because I'm a firstborn, so I get to hear the jokes and all the, commentary and things from all the others around me as they come forward. I think that was what imbued that in me. But it became a hobby of mine from I was a child, so it's like inborn.
So you've been doing comedy from a child till now. And so when was your, what was that journey like?
Well, I used to just be joke, get joke, and go to the rum bar them at Jamaica and stand up. Because you can't go in the rum bar as a child. So I have to stand up outside of the door and listen to the man them in there, the rum at them, because them get the most joke and the best joke, and you pick up joke from there. So that kind of start getting to me, and then I have these jokes, I have to inspire other people with it, and then people start asking you, because them know, say, you do it, give me a joke now, tell me a joke now. You know what I say? And so, you grow up in that. And then I started doing it in church. And after a while, you do it in school, the school have concert, the church have concert, then you go up and you do your thing. But mostly, in those days, Jamaica, it was mostly slapstick comedy. It wasn't really stand-up, because there wasn't much stand-up.
I'm sorry, for those people who don't know what slapstick comedy is, what is that?
Basically, sketch comedy, like Oliver and, like what Oliver does. You have sketches and you play them out with a punchline. Right, so that genre is the Jamaican style. Stand-up is really a United States, America style of comedy. Stand up with the mic alone, one-man show, and you tell jokes. So that wasn't in my time in Jamaica. Basically, there were a few, one or two, Master I think Prince Edwards. But Prince Edward was the stand-up comedian that inspired me to want to do stand-up. Right? Because I saw him a couple of times in Jamaica. A lot of people don't even remember or know about him. But he was one of the first stand-up comedians in Jamaica. His name Prince Edwards. People can go look him up. Right? Because most of the other comedians were involved in, like plays and pantomimes and things like that, So I kind of took that from him, and he inspired me to want to do that genre. So when I transplanted to the United States, it was mostly stand-up comedian and stand-up comedy.
What was that transition like from Jamaica to America, and from from the comedy you knew to the stand-up? How did you transition to that? Was it an easy thing, or did you just incorporate it in what you usually do?
It wasn't really difficult. However, you had to transfer training and acquire different techniques, right? Because when I started out in high school here. I did some college and I did it there, right? But then after a while, being in New York City, the entertainment capital of the world, they have stand-up, they have comedy clubs. So when you go to the comedy clubs, I used to go there after classes, right? And I would do workout, they have what they call open mic, right?
Yes.
And then, you get a chance, you go up, you work out your thing, you practice the skills, and that's how I acquired the skill of stand-up. So the transfer from slapstick or sketch comedy to stand-up, I worked out in most of the comedy clubs in New York. So that's how I started.
How were you received when you, as a Jamaican, transplanted in America? How were you received by that?
Well, it takes some time because of the accent, right? Give you a little joke. So when I was in high school here, in an horticulture class, there was a teacher named Mr. Josim, right? So we were doing American studies, and he was asking about the different forms of government. And then he went into sexuality, then he started talking about the different types of gender, right? So people put up their hand and one say male, another one put up a hand and say female. So I put up my hand and I say hermaphrodite, my thickest Jamaican accent, right? And everybody turn and look at me. And the teacher look at me and then say, yeah, why? So I said, what do you mean, why? He said, why should we turn off the light? So, say, from that point, me no participate in a class no more. You understand? Because this is how they got it. To them, that's what I said. So then I became, aware of it. Professionally, I met a lot of the current professionals on some part. So some of those professional comedians, you see, like even Conan O'Brien, right? I used to be in the clubs with him at one time because he used to host. He used to host at a pub named Pete's Pub down in the city. I remember I met Chris Rock first. He used to host at New York stand-up. I met Caroline, who owns Caroline Comedy Club right now. I met her at New York Comedy Club. We'll talk about that club sometime. But I got involved in the original making or foundation or putting together of that club, Caroline's Comedy Club. Big up Caroline, big up Lynn. Yeah. So this is all right. And then, there was a void, and I was the only Jamaican stand-up, and it's more cost productive to deal with a stand-up than to bring a whole crew to do this Jamaican style, Oliver style comedy thing. So, I used to get called for some shows, like they would have reggae, concerts and things. I would get called to perform. If I don't get a call to perform, I would get called to host and MC it, because then I realize I can chat and I can talk, and sometimes it's impromptu. And true, they usually use comedians to do MCs because when there's void or what they call remnant time, you know, a comedian can fill in with you know, few jokes or him talk till you're ready again. After intermission, you talk till you know this artist or that artist is ready. So that's the usefulness of a comedian to host a show, you know, like a concert. So I was getting some of these jobs then. Back in the late 80s into the 90s now, I was what they call the warm-up act for Oliver show. So every time Oliver would have a show in New York City, I would be the one that warm up the crowd. A lot of people will remember Zippy Gan. Oh, yeah, no, you know. So I always big up Oliver. Yeah, Oliver know that. I don't think he could ever deny because, you know, people know it. It was a couple of years well. Always been the warm-up act for Oliver in New York. Yeah.
So what was your, when did you enter like at the bigger stage from just regular stand-up? When did you progress to a more professional lifestyle in comedy?
You know, say, it was, you know, I met this producer named Clinton Lindsay. So Clinton Lindsay, you know, was a dancehall producer, right?
Oh,
he was responsible for bringing up a lot of the dancehall in the early days, dancehall artists to New York, you know, on tours. And then he would, you know, have packages in different states. So one time I went with him, you know, to Boston. I think at the time he was touring Pinchers, Flower Gun, Sanchez, Red Dragon, and Daddy Lizard, right? I think that was the package at the time. I went to Boston. Whoever it is that was supposed to MC the show for Clinton Lindsay didn't show up or back out or whatever. And Clinton said, Zippy Gan, but you do comedy and was some show for Oliver before, right? You don't want to host the show for me. You know, so me rise to the occasion, me jump up on the stage and it went well, we get through it. I know me the nervous, you know, reggae dancer. And we get through it. And him commend me that, you know, we did good and we get through it, blah, blah, blah. So from then, he would use me to MC shows when he need MC if he didn't go to one of the other big guys. So it ended up that when we started the New York Reggae Awards, which eventually became Jamaica Reggae Awards, some people don't know. The first one was at the Beacon Theater in New York City. And he called up on me and I emceed that show. Was that my first big show? Well, I wouldn't say that, you know, because the Oliver show, them used to big and crowded. Because you remember them days there, you know, Oliver was the thing. Oliver was the man going, right? And his thing, them used to pack and crowded and everybody, Oliver. So those were big shows. But the Reggae Awards, yeah, it was a different level also. And so that's how I started doing the big shows. I remember at the first Reggae Award in Beacon Theater, Richie Stevens, my debut him, you know. Him probably don't remember. You know, and him sing a song named Put On Your Red Dress. You might remember this now. And all of the women them run to the stage. Once him start sing, every woman in the place rush the stage. That's right. It was like, yeah. Bad man, Richie Stephen, big up yourself. I hope you remember this. Yeah. So I became, because of that Clinton Lindsay, I became the resident MC for the New York Reggae Awards. The third year it became, they changed the name to the Jamaica Reggae Awards, but it was, you know, the same brand. So this is how I happened to have the fortune, because it's a fortune now, because now it's my legacy, of being the only entertainer in the world right now who can say he has the royal distinction of performing on every major stage in New York City, the entertainment capital of the world. You don't know that? If you don't know, ask somebody, ask Clinton. And this is the Empire State, so that's why it's a royal distinction. Zippy Gan said that. Okay.
So you're the only Jamaican who performed on all 3 platforms, major platforms in...
Excuse me, miss. The only entertainer, you notice how me say it?
I know.
In the world. I did it my way.
The only entertainer?
No regrets, not even a few.
Go ahead.
So let me tell you, this is true. Right? So even the greats, you know.
Yeah.
Even the greats and the greatest of the greatest don't have this distinction. It's a royal distinction and none of them can refute it no matter who you are. Let me see your receipt.
Just repeat that for me, please. That distinction. You're the only
entertainer in the world today who can say he has performed on every major stage. You notice what I'm saying? Because it's about the stage. I'm not talking about the arc of the big hall. Radio City is big, Beacon is big, Apollo is big, Majesty is big. And the people listening know that is true. No one else have that distinction.
That's outstanding.
They can't say they perform on all the stages in New York City. I have. And still you don't know me. Still you don't know me, Reggie. You just a meet and hear about me.
Well, we plan to get to know you very well. And it's a pleasure to even meet you. So how, what was, after getting that award, what was your next venture into the comedic world?
Okay. So I entered a competition at the Apollo Theatre. You know, they have this talent competition at the Apollo Theatre, right? So I think it was 1992, right? I entered that and I was declared the winner. Because I don't think there was anybody in the theater when they're supposed to vote that didn't vote for me. Everybody in there voted for me. So I won that competition. I mean, here people are saying it's my best performance they've ever seen. And I think that probably could be true, you know. But I mash up the Apollo Theatre. I remember, I mash up the Apollo Theatre and I won. I know when I get back home, I had 5 messages from our senior producer. But I never understand Hollywood and I never really interested in Hollywood. So we never get to go to Hollywood to be on our senior show. But yeah, like that. Well, after that, they were asking for a video and clip and thing. And we never have no video cam, we never make video cam. We never really know to pursue that, right? So from there, I continued performing stages. The Reggae Awards was still going on back in the 90s, so I had that show to do. So that's where it was until 94, I think. Yeah, I decided to produce something. So I spoke to one of my friends, stand-up comedian for Barbados, Trevor Eastman. Give thanks, big up Trevor Eastman. Now you know, so the other Caribbean islands like Trinidad and Barbados, they had stand-up. They do stand-up, so they had a lot of stand-up comedian. And then bad too, them wicked. Jamaica was mostly with the Oliver and the sketch like me say. So I break out as the first Jamaican stand-up, really, in a foreign. So a lot of the shows I perform on too, they were there, like when we perform at Madison and Apollo, you know, Trevor Eastman, Fabian sprang along, and you know, condolences to sprang along and his family, and you know, and those big names, you know, I perform on the same stage with them, so them time, yeah. Right, but Usually when I'm performing in the midst of these great comedians from the other Caribbean islands, me usually nervous real bad. So they have a tendency of putting me on first because me are the lesser of the crew, right? Jamaican. But me always end up finding them coming and telling me that me bomb up the place and them nervous for gone. No. So I say, oh, we never know sweat did I wash me. But nevertheless, you see, that's the game, you know. So when we look at what's going on in the United States comedy genre, in the circle, and, you know, we don't have those kinds of relationships. We try to shore it up and make it fun. So I don't know, because I don't know the Hollywood way anyway, because, you know.
What was it that you weren't comfortable with about going to Hollywood?
Because I don't know nothing about Hollywood. I know about the industry, but I don't know about Hollywood. So
Everybody, I mean, just dreamed to get to Hollywood, and you had the opportunity, and yet it just didn't appeal to you?
yeah, because I know fame and fortune appeal to me, you know, substance appeal to me, you know, and inspiration. So I work off of inspiration, and I have to be motivated to do something. Nobody can just let me do something because they want to manipulate me. I work off of inspiration, and I'm still inspired, and I'm still here. And may I talk to you and still a laugh, because that's it. Comedy is no joke, it's serious business. You see what I'm David? So now we're ready to deal with the business. All the joking and thing gone, so we know. Though I know that you're here because you watched the video and you heard about the Tyler Perry situation with the Mediea and my characters.
What's one of your greatest accomplishments, and who has been, like, in the comedian world, who has been your greatest inspiration? Yeah, I know that's loaded.
No, it's not really loaded. My greatest accomplishment in the entertainment field, right? In the comedy field.
Yes.
Was this video I made in 1994, you know, attempting to learn production, right? And, you know, and I was able to finish it, complete it, you know, and package it, because I started from the script, you know, to the props, to the production team, to set it up, to getting it shot. It was shot by Jabari, big videographer at the time. He used to work for ABC, so he did the direction and thing. But me and my crew, Mo, Mikey Marvelous, D, right? And I was doing the same thing at the time. I was working in a real estate office, doing real estate in the day, and like after 6 o'clock or something, I just sit down and start write and put that together. So there's the dilemma of my life that I'm telling you about. This is why I haven't really pursued running down this comedy thing, rated as other artists would do for their craft, because they're living by that. I have another, state that I travel in, and I deal with real estate matters, and that's my passion. Like I said, the comedy for me became a hobby, because it's in me and it's an inspiration, and I never had to run, because it wasn't really putting food on the table. You understand? So it's really by inspiration and by getting those calls, because a lot of them show that when me MC, say you still have credit for it, right? All right.
Okay.
Yeah. And what was the other part of the question?
And who was your greatest inspiration?
Who are the people that motivates me?
Who are the people who motivated you to comedy?
Well, I'll just answer that by telling some of the comedians that really I I admire. As me say, Prince Edward from Jamaica was a stand-up. Him not get him credit and him not get him crown and him not get the pat on him back as he is. But he was the one that used to let the young people in Jamaica laugh and have fun as a comedian. But he was a stand-up. But this type of stand-up is what me see a lot of US stand-up comedians do. You know, he was a storyteller. You know, because Jamaica, it's the storytelling.
Exactly.
You go up there and him tell you some story and them thing there with him punchline. And that was what I pick up and try to follow. So my comedy is that style, storytelling.
Right.
You know, something where your grandmother tell you some story that you have. It wasn't just turning up and telling a joke, boom, 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 punchline. It was telling a story, right? So I would say him. And so when I came here, I was watching sitcoms, JJ from Good Times. Yeah, and believe it or not, as a young comedian, D.L. Hughley. Yeah, Dale. And Oliver. Yeah, Oliver, Oliver get him props. And Trevor Eastman from Barbados. I hope your health is doing well, yeah. Trevor bad. Right, so Trevor inspired me too. Other people, other comedians.
So, when did you start writing scripts and start writing plays?
I never really started, I just did it for that video because you see, me kind of impromptu. So, me don't like be scripted. You know, me just like talk freely, organic.
What video is this and what is this video about?
Yeah. So in 1994, I decided that I have all these punchline, all these, you know what I say, sketches in my head. And doing my working at the office daily. And then I remember that I talked to Trevor Eastman, and we decided that what we're going to do, we're going to start make some videos like Oliver video, because Oliver video mash up the place, but the producer never make no money. I don't think so, because of the black market, everybody pirate it, everybody and them grandmother have a pirate copy. So I don't think the producer make any money off it, but it was massive, right? Blockbusting. So we decided, say, well, we'll get into that, you know, because there was a rise of stand-up comedians, you know, coming up in Jamaica and in the Caribbean. So we would put them on video. At the time, it was still VHS. So we would produce them, put them on video and market it, but we would have some control over the marketing. So those were the idea. And like a week after me and him decided that, and he was gonna fly to New York, boom, a hurricane come and mash up the Caribbean. What was the name of that hurricane again in the early 90s? Whatever, William or whatever. No, man, that was before Gilbert or after Gilbert.
Gilbert was 88. So.
But it cut every phone line, it mashed up the Caribbean. I don't remember the name of the thing by that, but and that's how it part. So may I say, maybe me should just do this on my own then. So not having the wherewithal to gather all these Caribbean comedians to do it, I said, why don't I write the scripts of the things in my head, put it on film. Just like when Hollywood was calling me, I never really have a video. So why don't I make a video, just go and make it, get the experience and see how it's done. If I can do it, then, you know, we could probably continue on. So that was the inspiration, you know, for me to put that video together in 1994. Yeah.
I missed that part. You said when Hollywood was calling you?
Like when Arsenio called me.
Oh, okay.
We never really... You know, in Hollywood and them thing, when they do that, they want a video clip of you, you know, with your, you know, 8x10 on your resume and thing, but I didn't have a video. because, you know, I was just working our way. I wasn't looking that way. Even though I was on the circuit in the industry, because I even came out in one of the entertainment publications called Show Business at the time. I was in the center page as Zippy Gan, Jamaican comedian. Yeah, I was in the center page, Show Business. No, Backstage bought them out and they're out of business, but yeah. So I was, you know, going to the comedy club and thing, you see these people you got in the industry, but I didn't pursue that. And there's a lot of credit I have, a lot of people I help in the industry, a lot of hip hop artists I put on stage, being MC, I put them up, most of them for the first time, I debuted them, dancehall artists. So that's the legacy that I have. But that's not the legacy I'm running out and patting myself, yeah, I did that. Because that's firm. It's etched in time, cannot be changed.
You said you made a video. What was that video about?
Well, first of all, the video name is Positive Jamaican, right? At the time, it was everything about Jamaican Posse. And it was a propaganda term, right? With negative indications. So I played on it and I called my video Positive, P-O-S-S-E, right? Stroke T-I-V. So I put a positive play on it.
Right.
Instead of the negative of Jamaican Posse, this Jamaican Posse. And then I put Jamaican, Jew/Macon, right? So that's the play on words, right? Because there's a lot of Jewish families in Jamaica, a high percentage of Jamaica of Jewish blood, right? And it just fall in place, Jamaican, right?
It's funny you should say that. My grandmother is Jewish.
Okay.
No, my great-grandmother is Jewish.
So does mine.
Jamaican.
So does mine. So that's why I put. And I was mindful that Hollywood and the entertainment world, right, they have the reign on that.
That's right.
So also to help, you know, foster what I'm doing. So that's it. So I gave it that name, and it has it's tripartite. I have 2 skits and 1 stand-up performance. Now, I had the footage like we have here of a stand-up performance I did at Carib, New York. At the time, it was a club, you know, up in New Rochelle. Ken Williams, I don't know if you know that name. Ken Williams was one of the original producers here. It was his club. However, there was a Caribbean homage, Caribbean paying homage to the United Negro College Fund, because you know every year they have their special, right? And when people donate. So I was called to perform for that. So I did perform for the United Negro College Fund in 1994 at Carib, New York. So I had those footage. So when I'm deciding my production, I said, okay, well, I will give them Jamaican flavor, because I say I'm gonna do it Jamaican style. Because although I'm a stand-up comedian now doing it here in the United States, I can't do it the American style. So I'm going to do stand-up Jamaican style. Yeah. So with the Jamaican joke, my grandmother joke, you know the jokes so we used to. You know, Brother Nancy and Brother Tukum and Big Boy and things like that. So even though I'm doing stand-up, I'm going to do it Jamaican style. So that's the distinction I'm making. So then I wrote 2 skits. So in the video, it's on YouTube. You will also see 1 skit is a court scene, right? Me and my brethren, Mo, Chin, my kitchen, right? And I as the drunkard driver, right? It's on YouTube. And then I wrote another skit now with some characters, which I call Unity Ministry. You have a preacher, right? You have a Rastaman, you have a deacon, right? And then you have a woman, the female member, Big Bumsy Bertha. And then you have a woman named Deacon Garvey. Right, so I display all those characters, bought the props, put them together. So this Big Bumsy Bertha became, it was kind of, yeah, it was controversial to a point because, in Jamaica, a man putting on a dress is controversial.
Very much so.
However, in my situation, I wrote that in there and I had asked a young lady to play that part. Her name is Marcia Griffiths from Brooklyn at the time. She used to do some acting with Oliver, I think. And she told me yes, that she would play it because the people them around me, I said, boy, you can't wear no dress, Man, no for wear dress, Wait. I made it go with that still until she tell me, say, at the last minute, she can't do it, she don't want to do it. And I say, oh, no matter what nobody say, it's a character that I write and my character. And no, I'm kind of happy that, sorry. I'm kind of happy that she didn't do it because then it would have changed the whole dynamics of the thing. Now, it become a one-man show. You compare me, I say, because all the characters were played by me. So it become, if me didn't make she come in, it wouldn't be the same style and sauce, right? Right, so I played that character and I donned a dress to play the character, and I think it's the best character everybody tells, especially women, them love it, right? And it made the video, along with the bar scene too, the court scene, but Mediea made the video, because of our brawling ways. And so I gave them 2 skits and a stand-up. I think the video is 48 minutes. So it's like a full production. But, I'm not taking it serious really, because my aim for it was to see if I could really produce something. I did it, and then I was trying to put it out to see if I could put my name out there and do more with other comedians. So like a fool, and have his producer, me send my video out, start submitting it, but me submit the whole video. I never know that I'm supposed to take the first minute, like a clip of the first best punchlines, and use that when I do my submission, me send out the whole video to
You mentioned Mediea, but did you mean Big Bumsy Bertha?
Big Bumsy Bertha is my character.
Yeah.
Alright?
How did the two meet?
Oh, Mediea?
Yeah.
Me really did say Mediea? You see how the spirits work?
You did.
It's a fact, true word, right?
Yeah, how did the two
So
meet?
I created that character, right? Because it's a church scene and all the characters go up to give their testimonies, right?
So are you saying that Big Bumpy Bird, what's her name? Big Bumpy Bird?
Big Bumsy Bertha.
Yeah, watch the video, man. I just put it on YouTube.
I'm just asking you for the record. I'm asking you. Like, why did you mix up those names? Like,
I didn't intend. I didn't even know how to tell me someone mix it up. It's a most true word, right?
Yes.
Basically, what you're saying is the character Big Bumsy Bertha, he played Mediea to the T of the same character of Big Bertie Bumsy.
I tell you.
You just mentioned Mediea, surprisingly. How does Mediea and Big Bumsy Bertha compare? Oh.
Here's a convergence where I was leading into. So I never intentionally said Bumsy. I would not tell me. I still don't know. So it must be something in the air, spiritually. True word, right?
Yeah. So who is Big Bumsy Bertha, and how did you come
So
up with that character?
it's that female character that I perform in that skit, right? Because you have to have a woman in the thing, because Big Bumsy Bertha is the church sister, where when you have a harvest at church, she coordinate and organize everything, you know, everything. She's that woman we say where everybody work, we come at church, all. Right, so it's the church mother, right? So I played that character, and like I said, it was controversial amongst Jamaican, because you know Jamaican man with the woman. This was 1994 compared to now.
Wow.
But I did it then because it's my character, I write it. No one forced me, compel me or command me to do that, to put on that dress. Me do it for my character and my thing, right? So that gone. So while I was sending out the video, I was sending out the entire video, full dev. I didn't know what I was doing, a novice, you know, be naive and thing. So I send it to like the places with the comedy, Def Comedy Jam, Saturday Night Live, because I what you call it, audition for a lot of these places too, and you know, I just send it out to the industry because I have the report when I know them address and things. It's like it's called a RAS report, right? It's like the telephone directory for phone. RAS report is like for the entertainment field, right? You have phone number, everything, talent agency. So from there, I send out my video submission with me 8x10 and thing, right? However, I never hear back from them, so I was calling around to find out what was going on with my video, with my submission. Some of them I didn't get. So while I was calling, there was a show named the Apollo Comedy Hour that they brought in to compete with Def Comedy Jam. And you know, Def Comedy Jam was the big, bad, black comedy show on TV. So they brought in the Apollo Comedy Hour, the Apollo being owned by African-American, black people and everything. They brought that to compete with it. So, because I had won the competition at the Apollo, right? I had sent that, you know, saying, you know, who I was and rated. So whenever I hear from them, I call them too. And I'm like, ooh, and it just ring out, because they might give me some Los Angeles number me having at the book. So I knew the lady that had coordinated the show at the Apollo, you know, the competition. She was the coordinator. I think they call her name is Luella. Right. You know, they call her, she working at what they call continuity division. So I call her and I say, Luella, you know, very, me make a video, me send it out to the Apollo Comedy. Oh, I know, me I'll call them for hear from them, because me no hear nothing from them. So she said, what number you been calling? So I gave her 213 number, you know, in Hollywood. And she said, that's not the number I have from them. I have another number for them. Maybe you could try this number. And she gave me the number. I'm going to call it, 212 number. I'm going to call and I get a young lady and she answer it. And I hear like she have a West Indian voice. So I say, she said, oh, can I help you? I said, what's your name, please? And she tell me her name. At the time, I make a joke, I'm a comic, you know, so I make a joke to her name because I think it's Lovejoy or something. She say her name was, you know, I have to make a joke about that. And at the same time, there was a movie out named something another fever, right? Named Jungle Fever, you remember? It was right at the same time the movie was out and the youth was started. What was his last name?
Lovejoy.
So I have to make a joke about it. You see, that's how I remember these things.
Yeah.
Right, and then after I make the joke, I will laugh, and she say, oh, may I help you? So I say, I send in a video, you know, submit a video, you know. So when she asked me the name, and I tell her apologies. She said, oh, I remember that video. I remember that video. I said, yeah. So she said to me, what are you looking for? I said, well, I never hear about nothing. I want to know, what happened to the video. She said, well, I can tell you, Mr. Tyler Perry took it home to watch it. I said, Mr. Tyler Perry? She said, yeah, you don't know who Tyler Perry is? I said, no. I said, I never hear. Oh, she said he's an Hollywood producer, but he's the head of the talent committee for the show, and he took it home to watch it. Then she switched on me, hear this part, she switched on, she said, oh, by the way, we don't have a release from you.
Wow.
She said, I said, well, I didn't get one. She said, well, if you give me your address, I would mail one out for you. And that's very important. Because without a release, this brethren I can say him, I say about stealing, but me I say him adopt it. Him not bring it back to the show the next year. This was 1996, right? The next year, 1997, there's this big production at the Beacon Theatre being advertised on WLIB and WBLS of The Diary of a Mad Black Woman. You want me to talk now?
Talk.
Right? So there was this big play at the Beacon Theatre named Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Right? Mediea. So that's how Mediea come in. Right? And I wanted to get tickets to go, but by the time I turned around, tickets was sold out, and it had a good run. It was doing double shows, a matinee, Ray. And it run for a while. I wasn't able to get to go see because it's always sold out. Right? And why I wanted to go see it? Because the name now rings a bell. Because 96, the lady told me that. I didn't know who he was, truly. And she told me who he was, and he took it home to watch it because he's running the talent committee for the Apollo Comedy Hour. So when I hear the name Tyler Perry, who is putting on display at the Beacon, I say I have to go see it. The strangest thing happened, I never get to go see it. Keep in mind that at this time now, life happens and things are going on with me. You know what I say?
Yeah.
And I kind of drop off a shape. Right? So I never really pursued that to then, but when me hear in a 97, I hear him name, I say I want to go see it. Never get to go see it. So one night, this lady came up from Jamaica and asked, she has some cousin up in Harlem, and if I could take her up there to see them, and I did. And when we walk into the house, her cousin them sitting at the settee and watch TV. So she said, I want to watch. Them say, it's a play, I'm coming to play. So she said, oh, Oliver. And they said, no man, it's this guy named Tyler Perry show, man, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And they say, yeah, and them talk. And I say, And then the cousin them call her and they run upstairs, left me alone downstairs. So me no get up from the side chair and go sit in and they said, if you watch this, cause me never get to go see it and me want to see this. So when the character Mediea come out and say, cause me see all the little Mr. Brown and all the other one them dress up like my character. When the double color shirts and things. But you see when Mediea come out, on the stage, cold sweat wash me. I like my heart sinking on me. I say, oh, but no all of my character. I say, oh, but no my character them not, man. They have to come and take me out of there. They ask me if I want them call ambulance for me and them things. I said, no. Because I sit there watching and looking and say, oh, I just make that slip me so by not pursuing it. Right? So that's the story of Mediea. So eventually I sent some notices to him or to his production company. And then I follow up with some calls. They got it because I have the return receipt. And I follow up with some calls and spoke to some of the people that run in place. And twice they tell me to have my attorney call them. But I'm doing this because I'm not really try to do no lawsuit and for sue nobody and drag out. See? But just as say he knows and people knows, right? And him can't deny that. That is it.
Exactly.
That he took my video home and took my character. Because if you look at all his character and look at my video, you will see that he adapted the Big Bumsy Bertha is an adaptation into Mediea. If you look at all the other characters, when he first came out doing the sitcom, Mr. Brown and stuff, if you look at how they dress, it's the same color coordination of colors and things as my character. The only character you didn't take, Tyler, is Rasai, the Rastaman, because you're not going to take a Rastaman character. All your other characters you take, except the Rastaman, Rasai, and everybody can see that.
So, that must have been really upsetting to see your work being presented by somebody else.
I'm telling you what happened that night. They almost had to take me out in an ambulance. It's like me say, the biggest weapon in warfare is the surprise. That was a surprise, and the shock of it to say, oh, you never follow up from. And tell you about the name, and through me know say, this lady probably still work at the Apollo, and through me know say she tell me I never sign no release, right? This is what I'm going off, because there are people who know and people who tell me, and there's a receipt and record there. You understand?
What would you like to do? What would you like to see happen now?
Well, I would discuss here now that you see me get this way talking about it, because I don't want to go at Tyler Perry say, hey, like me say, him adapt it, and they do this in the industry. Because you hear now comedians coming out who take them joke, and Steve Harvey and Catwill. I don't really want to call the name, but it's out there.
Right.
Everybody going who take who joke, who never, right? These things happen in the industry, right? And I see that he took it and he made $1 billion empire out of it. That's what we're supposed to do. Because I see a lot of guys who make money and they ain't build no institution or nothing have substance.
Right.
So that's why they might tell me if I have my attorney call them, and I haven't done that because me can handle my own legal work. You know, they know that. And I can't help myself in the courts and all them things, but it's not a legal issue. It's a matter of you build an empire out of the character, and you know, because he sent me signs that he know, and he knows.
What do you mean he sent you signs?
Yeah, so I have things.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, what I'm looking to, I want to make some of our own stories, same Jamaican style. So I would want him to work with us to build, right, a production company in Jamaica so we can make, produce, and show the world our style of our culture also. Because if you notice, what he concentrates on is his Black American style of culture he made. He even separate himself from Hollywood and have his own territory, function, and jurisdiction. And I commend him for that. That takes labor and hard work, you see, and substance, right? So it's no little normal thing you have done to get there. So I wouldn't be one to come say, you know, I'm doing negatively against him, because he used it and he built an empire. So within his own conscience, and if him not have no conscience, forget what I say right now, joint venture, and let me build something of my character and what it has taken him to the pinnacle. Now, if he can reject that, then it's a different stand where I take. Because we can step. You see what I deal with? And we can help ourselves in the court. So what I am offering him, right, is an offer and acceptance. See? So I'm proffering my hand, not to beg. I'm proffering my hand and say, oh, come joint venture with us, make a whole thing, because that was the purpose of me making that video. I never pursue it and run it down and find, because I have other things to do to keep balance. Right? So I'm not going to him and say, oh, you owe me, you have to give me this. He should know that if we go joint venture with us, we have to build something for ourselves. That's what I need to build something out of it. Because he built an empire, everybody know. No, right now, there's a time now where everybody are bash him right now. Everybody want to bring him down, everybody want to bring out this about him. And I don't know nothing personal about him because I've never met him. So I can bash him. You see what I deal with? What I'm doing is I'm extending to him, right, the hand of giant venture so we can get something of our own. So we have Hungry Film here, right? We know to do production. We have all the equipment, Hungry Man Production, yes. Film making company.
Yes.
We just need some of his expertise and some of his talent now to help us build our things so we can make our own movie.
Yeah, well, I could add to that because you know, we have Hungry Man Films going here, and we write scripts. We have equipment. I mean, we work with equipment that we have to make it work. You know what I'm saying? So we have that, and we have talent. We have talent. We are Jamaicans are in America. They're all over the world. So we have talent in everywhere in the world that we go. We can find talent, right? As actors and entertainers and comedians, right? So do you think that it would be very like an awesome, great experience for Jamaica, have a film studio in Jamaica there where the young actors, and we can also inspire young children there, like when we did Young and we did the acting thing, we could inspire them now from their young to elevate them talent from them young, and they could. This is something that, so when we grew up, we used to go to church and play them and something. Yeah, right. And it wasn't like a career to us. Nobody never told us, you know, this is a career, you could be an actor and all these things, right? So let me cut this question short.
But however, you see the profile I made to him, right?
Yeah.
That's along the line. Me now come out right now. We not no adversarial way, but we can be.
That's what I was getting at. That's what I was getting at. Like even you as a Jamaican man, where with this big legacy, Jamaicans don't get no credit for nothing, bro. Like they Paul Campbell, one of the biggest actors from Jamaica. You know what I say? They're not putting him in the movies. They rather get like somebody like American and to play the part and accent not even right. Just
because they can't manipulate Jamaican, and that's the problem. I can tell you. That's why I'm still
exactly. So now let me finish the question. This is the end of the question right here. You just said it. So now, do you think that if we build up if we get help even from Spike Lee or whoever, doesn't have to be this guy, but even if we get help from whoever, do you think that is gonna do you think that the whole industry in a whole is gonna give us a break as Jamaicans? Do you think that's why Jamaica don't have a film festival, a film studio there already?
Okay, I understand. I get the question, right?
Yeah.
And it is. So go back to say, because they can manipulate Jamaicans, you will see Jamaicans out of things, even where they're supposed to be credited. That's why we need to make our own footprint. So David set up our own thing, and a lot of them don't understand the Jamaican culture and the Jamaican style. So I will say it here that a lot of people would shun working with Jamaican because they think Jamaican is this and that against them, but they do not comprehend how the culture is and how we grew up, like you were talking about how we grew up. This is why I'm sitting here telling you that me never really take it serious. Right? But it was just an inspiration in me.
I think because as for me, I'm not trying to take away your space. I know you got your time going, but I just wanted to add that as for me, when I was a kid growing up, I used to do the plays in the church, and I always remember when I was graduating from primary school, not high school, primary school, right? I sang the second verse in the graduation song. You know what I mean? I said, so I could have sing from a long time, but I never had nobody around to tell me, yo, you know what I'm saying?
To grow me into a business, singing as a business to make a living.
And we all have talent, because you know why we know we all have talent? Because we used to mash up the rally them, mash up the church, play them, all the school, play them, all of them things. So we knew we had talent. And you know what I think too? Because when I just came to America, a lady asked me, one of my mom's friends, when I went to visit her at the hospital, she asked me, what you gonna do? Like, you're gonna be, what you gonna be when you grow up? What you trying to do? Or don't you just come to America? And I told her, man, I want to be a movie star. I want to do a movie, you know? You know what she told me? She told me, man, that's too hard. You should be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. And you know what? I believed her. And you know what? Up to today, I said to myself, damn, if I just never met that, if she never asked me that question, I probably would have been more experienced. I would have probably been more established now as a filmmaker and as an actor and as a scriptwriter and as an artist.
It's strange though. Here's the strangest thing. Now you listen to a lot of these, especially black celebrities coming out now, and they're saying they're exposing Hollywood and rare, and they're telling you the thing, because a lot of it is make-believe, you know. Because a lot of people think because they dress up and look a certain way that they're making all this money. Not that they don't make money, but the amount of people that it have to share it, and the amount of handlers that you have, and the amount of gatekeepers that you say. I don't think I could have managed and work with that, you know what I'm saying? So, asking me about why now, I think this is an opportune moment, right, for us to get and set up our own thing in Jamaica and produce our own comedy, because that's how we started out. And anyone who watch my video, I put it up on YouTube now, and watch Tyler Perry's character, can see that it was adapted there, because he started this thing in 1997 called Diary of a Mad Black Woman. That's where he introduced Mediea, right? And it was 1996 that he took my video home, right? It was 96 that he took my video home, and I don't think he returned it to the Apollo Comedy Hour, because it went off the air, because it couldn't really mash up Def Comedy Jam. So I did it, and he sat and do what he do there. I applaud him, right? Because he used the characters and he get sitcoms from it, and he did, because he was in that field and he had that name and he did that. You know, I was out of pasture doing something else, so I did it. But it comes around now in circle. I'm not looking to bash him. I'm saying we want a production company in Jamaica to have a joint venture with Tyler Perry Productions. And remember, is I don't know if she still is his executive administrator, a Jamaican woman from Spanish Town. I remember speaking to her once, right? So he has Jamaican in his executive team in his own thing. So they don't know, and they don't know what positive Jamaican mean, right? And I never go at you with any lawyers and them thing alone and tell me I have my attorney card. We don't go that way, but we have other ways to go. You know, should you disband or discount this proffer for a joint venture and make some. You mentioned Spike Lee. Spike Lee is also a part of it, because I'm the one who shows Spike Lee how to use credit card make his first film, right? And people hear him say it. He just said last year in an interview that it was credit card he used to make his first film, and I'm the one who give him the process and how to do it. I should have been in his first film, but something happened, you know, I didn't get to Bed-Stuy to the casting agent. But that is it. And there are many more hip-hop artists, dancehall artists, you know, the producers and things with Zippy Gan. I have a hand and have a space and have a footprint in. So it's Zippy Gan footprint that we're talking about right now. We're starting with Tyler Perry and the Big Bumps, the character he adapted and made made Mediea into billions. That's good. That's how it's supposed to be. Build an empire. All of us should be looking to do that. Saying? So we're looking to do the same with some of our people, feed some of our people, my family. Our family big. See, now we're not beggar, we're not beg nothing. Because everyone see that you adapt our something. Jano.
I think it's so admirable that you don't want to attack his character. You don't want to take this on a negative, because certainly with what's going on right now, you could jump on that bandwagon and get far.
Why should I?
So it's so admirable to see that you, your motive is for the well-being of Jamaica and to establish a studio in Jamaica to help the Jamaicans. Is that what I'm hearing?
To help our family, not just Jamaicans, but
Well,
if it's in Jamaica, you know, you have other people from the Caribbean. Can I tell you, I have
Absolutely.
other Caribbean comedian people who work with and writers and all these things. We create our own industry like he did. That's what he does. He took Mediea and he created his own niche and his own industry.
that's awesome.
That's how I started out for making that video. It's just that he had more contact, he got it, and he see the power in it. Because remember, the United States is stand-up comedy, is never sketch comedy.
Right.
So it's the same thing those guys do with In Living Color. It's my treatment they use. We're gonna do one on that, cause that's even bigger. In Living Color is Zippy Gan treatment, written at Queen's Public Library, the one in Jamaica. That's why I wrote it, right? And me know them get it and them know everything, right? So a lot of anything you see like that, the sketch comedy and thing, Zippy Gan.
Wow.
Right? Because I brought that out here. And they all run and they make money and we just silent and watch them. But no, we are chat it.
That's right. That's
Then, or chop it.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing that with us. Was there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, him keep telling me to have my attorney call him. So maybe at this point, you know, we'll get an attorney to call him.
Right.
You know, I said, no, that I put it out and it's out, right? And he will have to come and refute it because it's out in the public, right? We're not talking about no dispute, because anyone can dispute, because they don't know. No one know my case like I, unless I tell you this, so no one know.
That's right.
Because for years, me just go on and I go on. So, David? So no one know my case like me, and no one know about the others. 50 Cent, Jay-Z, B.I.G. One don't even know.
Wow.
Saying? So the whole industry, right? The whole industry through me in other climes that do different works, you know. And we have to talk about the different works too, because it's a crazy thing that they're doing in our community, taking away all our people's houses.
Oh, yeah.
You know, using false claim and false referee deed. See, when you never know, say, yeah man, I name Zippy Gan to all the other battering and things will go on. All right, we're coming at it. We're coming choppings where I don't know. It's time for us to restore, you know, restore unto I and I what is I and I.
That's right.
Then, long time coming and we just sit, saying, we just sit and take it in, and where I say, Tyler Perry, congratulations on your empire that you build, but here is Zippy Gan, right? The rightful owner, positive Jamaican and the characters where you get that Mediea from. Say it's not so, Tyler. Jano. And thank you for, you know, being part of this and giving me the opportunity, allow me to put it out. This thing I've been guarded. I've been guarded with these things, because you can't just give it away and you can't just put your faith in the hand of others. So that's why I've guarded these things for a while, and many more I have guarded. I have my book coming out, you know. My book
thank
ready
you
to
so
come.
much for sharing this with us. And I know it's been a long journey, but we really do appreciate you using this platform to bring this story to light. And, you know, it's going to go forward and you're going to accomplish what it is you want to. That studio in Jamaica is coming.
Of course,
That studio
I mean named Zippy Gan.
is
And
coming.
of course, Tyler Perry adapt my character and make Mediea. What do you think? Who else?
Big bouncy Bertha, you know.